This video is kind of important because I did two things most people never do. I modeled for like 4 hours on the 10th, March 10th. And then I was filming for a few hours yesterday for the YouTube channel Awesomeness TV of something you probably will never see unless you're paying for YouTube Red. But if you can see what I do in it, you're gonna see it linked right here eventually. And the reason we're starting on March 15th and not the 10th or the 14th is because when you're modeling and when you're acting, you can't film too much unless you have people there, and I didn't have people there, so I'm probably gonna have to fill in some blanks that I couldn't record. And remember, if you have questions about acting, modeling, how I got involved in this stuff, or just how the process goes that I don't answer in here, let me know in the comments below, okay? Let's check it out. Let's go to... Hey, what's up everybody? Today's an interesting day, and it is March 10th, by the way, because it's gloomy. I mean, check it out. Sun is not really here. It's wet on the ground. And I moved to LA 2 years ago from Phoenix. And I remember thinking it didn't rain in Phoenix at all, very much. And then I moved here and for like 10 months, it didn't rain even once. But from time to time, when it's not in a drought, it gets really rainy and the ugly yellow hills of California turn to beautiful green hills of California. So I mentioned you guys that I'm a model. And I thought today would be an interesting day to document because today I'm doing some modeling. So about a month ago, I was shooting with James and he took this awesome photo right here. And we're shooting again today. As a model, I have like one main responsibility, right? And that's to look as good or bad as I'm supposed to. So that's why I go to the gym to try and get pumped because I can just feel my muscles easier and it's easier to pose and stuff like that. All these clothes in this shoot are really for my portfolio and stuff as an actor. It's not because I'm actually busy or being paid, but don't tell anybody that, Jesus. But I gotta pack this stuff up, get in the car and get going. So follow me along, guys. So here we are. This is building number 1. This is Dystopian Studios. Super cool, lots of open spaces. That's James over there. Want to wave, James? This is what we call a mood board. It's the images we are trying to capture like the essence of. Not these things exactly, but just kind of get this type of feeling or style and what we're shooting here today. They have a couple hair products here, water because you need to drink, and then some other things that we're going to shoot with, and shoes and whatnot. So this is my little space where I get pretty before we do our thing. James, the photographer, who you just saw, is going to help because he brought makeup. Thank God, because I have all this I need to fix. Makeup's all done. You can tell I look supremely just look at these cheekbones. Never make that face because you're too scary and people freak out. So we have the first look down, which is the turtleneck David Gandy, the world's highest top paid male model. I was Steve Jobs and all over the place here. I will play some music. So this is look number, what, look at this? This is like 4? Wait, 4. Yeah, this is the 4th outfit.
Oh, 4th look, yes.
Yeah, I have these really
number 4.
Skinny yellow pants on. Thanks to James, he brought them. And this jacket. And actually everything, this whole outfit is his. So we're wrapping up right now, we're packing things. James is getting ready to go. We had snacks here. But we just had an awesome last shoot, right?
Amazing shoot.
Yeah. Oh, we got real close, and the photos. Whenever I get them, I'll show you guys. It's gonna be so great. But good stuff. So that's kind of what it's like to do a little bit of modeling. You know, really intimate. There's not a ton of people there unless it's a really big production. But this isn't huge. I told you that. We had like 7 different outfits and tons of options. We didn't even start to touch, but we got some images that are gonna be so great when they're actually done. Now I don't have any of the final images, but James did give me some of the images that are unedited. And 2 we probably aren't going to use because they're just not right. But check them out because it's fun to know that even models take not great photos. So this is the first outfit you saw me in with the black turtleneck. I'm in the air jumping with my hands in my pocket, and I've never even tried to do photos where I'm like in motion, especially modeling, but this was a ton of fun. Then we'll move on to the yellow pants, and you see the first one kind of similar pose to the turtleneck, and then the second one a much bigger, more expressive pose, and that is pretty cool. We had the one we're going to use, I'm sure is very different from both of these, and they're very different from the mood board you saw earlier, but that's kind of how it works. You get like the idea, and all of a sudden you just start working and magic happens. This last one makes me feel super New York. By the way, I have like a trench coat, a sweater, my boots, and it was a ton of fun. And in order to achieve a shot like this, it's not like, I mean, it's work, because I had to jump, 80 times in order to get it right, where it was timed right. I had to like sling my jacket in the air, and it's all perfect timing, and it works out, and that's kind of what's the magic of modeling. And then lastly, I kind of got to be a little British, show off my British side, and look like the Doctor, kind of, or some professor from Harry Potter, right? What's up, J.K. Rowling? And it was a really good time. But I don't have the final images yet. When I do, I'll post on my Instagram. You can follow there if you like. Otherwise, let's move on to March 14th. Action! Last night or yesterday afternoon, I got texted by some casting director I did not know, asking if I could work background on a project today. For a monsieur, for some project on Awesomeness TV. It's $100 for 8 hours, which is not a lot, but apparently I'm only coming in for like the last few hours. But take that with a grain of salt, because that's not always true. So what they asked me to wear is all black, a black shirt with black pants, and I don't actually own black pants, go figure. But I do have really gray pants and another black t-shirt. They want multiple black tees. I'm not sure why that's so important, but I'm bringing them just in case. So I'm going to bring you along for the adventure. We'll see how it goes, and I'll record what I can. They don't want me recording anything there, so I got to be sneaky. Oh, one of the things I like to do is bring little things to entertain yourself, because if you know anything about acting or being on set, usually it's a lot of waiting the entire time until it's your time to go, and then it's more waiting after that. So bring books, anything you can do to entertain yourself, something to write with. Usually I like to take notes sometimes, because notes are fun. I just arrived, valet parked, and got my stuff out of my car. They're filming something right now, so I don't want to mess it up, because you can do that real easy. So I'm just going to kind of chill until I need to figure out where I'm supposed to go. You got your fruits. Got your garlic chickens, your meat lasagnas, your veggie lasagnas for people like me who are vegetarians, candies, snacks, more fruits, more candies, cakes, lollipops, fortune cookies in case you're that type of person, and other cookies. Oh, and some coffee. God knows we all need coffee. Yikes. Okay, so like you guys, I'm a masseuse, so I'm wearing all black, and Simone is doing the same exact thing. It says masseuse here, but they just got 2 dudes, so they must be desperate.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah,
Stay
definitely.
tuned.
For sure, guys. Set up right now. We are massaging Lauren soon. Both wearing black. I'm even wearing Simone's pants. I'm wearing his pants. They're great. The thing that's really easy to screw up at crafting services is that all the suites. It's easy to cheat, but no cheat days. Right? Choose not to. Yeah, no cheat days. I just changed out of Simone's pants back to wearing mine, and we're done. It wrapped. It's like literally the shortest shoot I've ever had. Super, super cool. So like I said, we just wrapped. Simone is walking to go find the valet people because they're not here. My keys are in there. I need to get my car back. Otherwise I can't drive home. I took the rest of that veggie lasagna because no one was eating it, let's be real. And I'm ready to go. It's funny, there are 2 other background actors just lining up here to go on in. And this is like the acting day. It's what's cool about Awesomeness TV was super organized. Everyone was working to get this done, and it's just been a really smooth transition through the day. And also, I got paid a rate, which is like $100 for 8 hours, but my actual work time was like 3 hours. So I made a lot more in a lot less time, which feels really, really good, guys. And that brings us to the part where I talk about what I learned. Like I said, this was a cool week because I got to do some modeling and some acting, and it's pretty rare that I get to do both those things in the same week. The cool stuff about working with James is that James is a legitimate professional photographer who does this all the time and has been doing it like his whole life. And because he does it so much, he, as the photographer, gives me so many things. I showed you the photos we were working on, and these are some that we worked on before. And you can tell they're different. The first set was really just still images. These other ones are like, there's movement involved. And while it seems and might look easy, I promise you, after like the 20th try of you jumping, wearing like a trench coat in a studio where it's like hot, it can get really difficult. But not only is he teaching me about different types of movements as a model and just kind of how to be freer in front of the camera, because I don't know, I have this like a need to please people, and if they're like, oh, I want you to do this, I can get really stuck in that spot. I'm like, oh, this is what they want, I'm just gonna give this to them, instead of kind of like moving and living within that space. So he's telling me, or teaching me, how to be more open and how to be a better model. Like, you can't ask for a better friend or photographer than that, because I'm not paying this guy, and we're just doing this because we both love to do this, and we like each other. I'm eternally thankful and grateful for people like him in my life. And that brings me to the acting. When I told you already, someone I didn't know, a casting director, just texted me and asked me if I was available. And that's because my online profiles for acting are set to people can contact me about background work. And that's a new change for me. I didn't know it wasn't checked before, but it's like, I just made $100 that day and I didn't do any work really. And I just met people. And speaking of meeting people, I got to meet Simone, which is like one of the coolest meets I've had in the longest time. Not to offend anyone else, but like, there are just some people where the second you start talking to them, you know it's not just a normal conversation or a normal energy. Like, look at this guy's smile. It's magnetic. He is so positive, he is so thankful, and he is so curious and appreciative. It's like, to find all those things in a person, very, very difficult. On top of that, we have about the same size pants. We both lift. We love PlayStation 4. And like, I got hooked up with his Instagram, and he followed me here and Serial Snob. And then we got each other's phone numbers. You know, it doesn't have to be anything other than what it is. But we were both talking about how finding friends and just talking to people in an open way doesn't happen all the time. And it's weird that it doesn't happen, because how many of us would like to just make a new good friend? But we go throughout our days and we're on autopilot, and people say, hey, how are you today? And you're just like, fine, thank you. And you walk by and we don't really engage. And that sucks, because there's so many human connections all of us are missing out on at any point in time. But me and Simone, we didn't let it slip. We were talking about it, and I was like, dude, I don't know if I'll ever talk to you again, or one of us could die in the next couple of days. I'm like, so let's make the most of it. And he's like, yeah. He's like, I could be doing some work on my phone right now. He's like, but this is more important. And I super appreciate that. We had such good vibes. And like I said, I made a new friend. And I know for a fact, as long as we're both living, we'll hang out again sometime soon. So, oh yeah, and just that Awesomeness TV, that's a YouTube channel with like 6.1 million subscribers. And that entire space was theirs. And I was like, man, this is what a YouTube channel can bring. It's insane to think about the money in YouTube and how much that actually relates to like people's jobs. There must have been like 300 people working in that space, plus all the actors that were there for day jobs, and people kept coming in. I mean, really scheduled, really organized, and really amazing overall. So yeah, lessons in friendship and being open, lessons in modeling and feeling free to move, and I guess the last part is just knowing how far something seemingly small, like a YouTube channel or sharing the things you create with the world, can grow into something huge that you would never, ever expect. So that's me, that's today, and it's Thursday. And tomorrow night is the first night of Beyond Wonderland, which I told you guys about last week, and I'm so pumped. I have my friend coming over to hang out tonight, and we're meeting up with people there, and I have so many people that I have not met that I'm going to meet up with, and it's going to be a blast. Expect a lot of that stuff in the video next week, and it's just going to be a wild time. So, wild, fun, expansive, transformative time, I hope. Okay, anyways guys, I'm Thomas. This has been way too long. I'm signing out. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you next time, okay? Peace!